Hey guys, same gear for August. We are getting near the end, but we continue on with the Chiseled Face Midnight Stag as a wonderful soap, to my nose at least. The stainless steel version of the timeless open comb 68 gap razor with the Nacet blade in it. The Semogue Owners Club with the Taj handle. Get that back in some water. The blade is in the razor. Take a look at it in a second. I think we're at shave 603. I think I remembered to put the dot on there last time. Long day of borrowing a friend's vehicle, so kind of them to loan it so that I could rent a trailer to move my mower from with the shadows. It may be better if I do this right here so you can see the etchings and things. And was able to move my mower, so that was one of the last big things. Very nice. Returned the 4 hours of driving because of all that. And then I grabbed about the last real load of stuff. Still got a little bit of cleaning to do at the old place. Some like packaging materials to move, but that's really about it. I've cleaned out the fridge and all the other belongings. So just a little bit of maintenance work remains. So it's good to finally get near the end of that process. A little bit of water on my face here. I figured today we will do the 10 swirl. On the with the Slurry Lather method, which means loading with a pretty wet brush. And that was very interesting. The last 3 days I worked on the 8 swirl, and because as I explained last time, last year I had a different brush. And I was able to go down to half a swirl, that sort of thing. And it was still picking up enough soap to give me plenty. Well, part of that was because of the water that I was leaving behind in the soap. But I'm doing that same thing with this soap, and it's not letting me go nearly as minimal on the number of swirls. It's not letting me keep stepping down. The 8 seemed to be the low point at which I had a skimpy lather. It was serviceable, but I wouldn't want to go less than that. And I guess I can attribute that to just a different type of brush. This is not as firm of a brush as that Zenith is, with its much larger knot, and then a lot of the bristles are angled straight at the soap instead of kind of at a more of a cone shape with fan shape with this guy. Give it a little bit of a shake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's just see what 10 gives us. If that's such a radical departure from the 8, you know, does it make a big difference? Does 2 extra swirls make a big difference? Let's just see. It does start up quicker on my face here. Dip back in and get a little bit more water. Yeah, see, it is sprinkling around, you know, splattering around a little bit. More than probably if I would have had more soap. But there you go. That's very doable. So let's see if it lasts. If I get the same stuff on the 3rd pass. You know, it's really late. I might just do 2 passes. splash of water. Yeah, that rinse right there, that little, it wasn't really a rinse, was it? It's just pretty minimal. That let me know the soap difference is clear with the 10 swirls over the 8. Then I can keep working this and maybe dip in, get a little bit more water. And when you do start to find a place where your loading and your lather kind of equalizes, sometimes that's a pretty good spot, because then you really have reliable metrics in terms of knowing, hey, I can change things, but I always know that, 8 swirls on this particular soap is going to give me the, X result, a certain type of result, and I can depend on that. And then I can, if you start changing your brush, then you have a baseline to say, oh, you know what? This brush requires, it's a stiffer brush. And so, yeah, I can get down to 6 swirls with this one, because its stiffness must be picking up more lather. Or it's a bigger brush, so it has more tips. That may make all the difference. That can change things. And so you can make educated guesses about how things are going to act once you've got that nice baseline. There we go. Nice 2-pass shave. So 10 swirls definitely gets the job done, and it gives me a better lather. Very workable, but still kind of minimal. Definitely not so much lather that it feels luxurious. And so, 12 swirls or something like that is probably going to be the, for this brush and that soap, it's probably going to be the way to go if I'm doing a slurry lather. And there's definitely enough lather in here to do another pass, but it wouldn't be just excessively filled with product, It would have been kind of another minimalish pass, but it would have been slick. It would have done the job. But at least with the 10, I did not have to go back and fish for more soap in the bowl. Rinsing out the bowl here. Cap up the soap. So that's good to know, 12 swirls. Splash. The scent does reduce a little bit as you get down in the splash, and so maybe what's left in the jar is reducing scent a little bit in terms of maybe it's more of the other ingredients, how maybe the scent is what comes out first, where it's prone to, that kind of thing. Ah, very nice. Very nice. Good smells. Smells like August. Wouldn't that be funny if my body got used to smelling Midnight Stag every day of August, and there's some kind of withdrawal symptom, every year in August? I don't think that's likely, but that'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it? I don't think there's much else to cover today. Just a few more days in August. I just recently, before August, I got a razor that was one of the injectors And I think it was the Parker adjustable injector. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. I'll have to, yeah, I think I did locate some injector blades. But honestly, I'll probably keep going on the Nacet here and get it to a nice round number before I ship it off to Greg to have a look at with his microscope. And it's a great combination with, here we go, strop the brush. It's a great combination of attributes here. Greg has the microscope, and he's got the science knowledge to use it properly, and he's got the shaving knowledge to apply all that stuff together to make some really good observations and to record things the right way, you know, and I think that's really neat. You know, with his sharpening expertise with the straight razors, that's gonna, he knows what the edge of a blade looks like, and obviously he's done magnifications on his, I think a single edge razor, maybe a Micromatic that he used. Am I remembering that right? But he's looked at various edges, and so I'm really glad we were able to link up, because now's about the right time to do that. At the age of this Nacet here, I'm just really curious what that edge is going to look like. Take off my watch so that I can put on. Hey, this little watch from AliExpress is working well. The band is, the edges are kind of, they're not smoothed out like a quality watch would be, and so it'll take a while to for your body and life to even out those and make it more enjoyable to wear. But the battery lasts a long time, maybe a week or week and a half before I need to charge it, and I understand that Apple Watches don't do that well nearly. So I've been very happy with it. Other than the dials, I've got hundreds of dials to choose from, but very few of them, very few of them are what I'm looking for. Just kind of a classic analog face. It's easy to read at a glance. That's not all garbled up with other things that I don't need. And this one, I think it's designed to look like an Apple Watch. And it's got this knob right here. I think maybe that's an Apple Watch feature. And it changes the face to different options. And and obviously if you want a number watch, there are, you know, ways to have lots of information if you want the digits, right? But I like the hands. And but this dial here is so easy to turn when you're just living your life. And you look down and you're on another face, you know, and I wish I could lock it on the face that I like, you know, but I can't, so. But it's been good. Syncs up with my watch. Yeah, there we go. Thanks very much for watching. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Have a good night.